All right, hey, we're gonna have a very quick and easy needle turn applique method. And I'm not really good at turning with my needle, but even if you are just like me, you can still get this done, okay? So here's a little demo for you. Here is my little project. And I've already started on it right around in here. So I started right here. I just picked a spot. So no, actually I started here and I've gotten to right here. So I've already done this. And the way I like to start this out is with number 8 pearl cotton. And what I like to put this right here along this edge, I would say somewhere in the vicinity of 3/8. And what that means is wherever you put it, it'll end up half that size seam allowance. So you'll end up turning it like this. And this acts as a place for your fabric to, kind of line up that way along the whole thing. So it ends up doing, something like that. So just a reminder, wherever you put this stitch, which you do in very big gloopy stitches, no pulling tight here. You want it around, doesn't have to be perfect. You want it around 3/8 inch. And just a reminder that it'll be half that size seam allowance. And then you can see what the actual look of it is right there. So I use just a very basic applique stitch. So super simple. Let me get my thimble on. I'm using this thimble. We have it in the shop. This is my favorite. It's the most comfortable. It doesn't fall off. That's why I like it. And I got my snips over here. I am using micro quilter in silver. Unless I'm using a very super dark fabric, I always choose silver because it disappears with any fabric like this. So you can either match it to this fabric or this fabric. Either one is probably right. But if I was working with 2 dark fabrics, I probably would choose a darker gray. Anyway, let's get started. I think I'm using a milliner's needle because this is a 100-weight thread and pretty much disappears. And the milliner's needle has a tiny little eye. Your thread will fall out of it less often, okay? Not saying it's foolproof, but it happens a lot less often when you find a needle with a tiny eye, and that's what you get with a milliner's needle. All right, so let's get started here. What I want to do, all right, since I'm not really good at turning it with my needle, I like to turn it with my finger and then just kind of smooth it out with my needle like that. And then when you take a stitch, I'm going only through the background fabric. I want to go right behind where my stitch is currently coming out. So I go into my background fabric only, and then I come out. Might be better if I do it right here. I come out behind my stitch into the background, and then out the foreground, or the part that your applique fabric. All right, and then you pull it tight. And then when I go in again, I do the exact same thing. I'm going into the background only, right behind where my stitch comes out. And then I just take a tiny bite of the fabric. And by tiny bite of the fabric, I'm referring to how far in I come from the edge of my applique. All right. I feel like my stitches, you can see how far apart they are. You can kind of just judge that for yourself. Mine are pretty small, but I think I could probably make them a little bigger and it'd be okay. But every time I take a few stitches here, I just want to go and smooth just like that. But it's coming out pretty nicely, to be honest. And then I just kind of push it with my finger, like put a little bit of weight on it, like we're finger pressing, and it kind of just holds its spot. So back and in. Oh, that's too big of a bite. Okay. And then pull. And I'm about to show you how I tie off and then how I get back started, so you'll have everything you need to applique this way. And I am loving it. I have not appliqued like this very much. I tend to like to, well, mostly I've appliqued circles. So I use the whole aluminum foil trick where you take a piece of cardboard, the size you want your circle, you put your fabric around it, and then you wrap the whole thing in aluminum foil and then press it with your iron. And I like that because you end up with a perfect circle. But with something like this, you can't do that. You are totally dependent on, or you are totally doing your own thing here with all these crazy shapes. So I have learned how to do this. And in the past, I've also, I'm all tangled up here. In the past, I've also gone with just raw edge applique, but I really wanted to try, well, it's always been on my bucket list to try this kind of applique. And even though I found that the actual needle turning, a lot of people don't do that part. They just do it the way I'm doing it. So that was interesting. It's also interesting how everybody has their own way of doing the exact same thing in quilting. So you might get stuck on, oh, that's not how it's done. But it's how you do it is how it's done, okay? Now the hardest part to me is making sure, or it ended up not being as hard as I thought it was going to be, having little bumps in the edge, like where where you didn't get a perfect curve like that right there. But I've done this whole bit right here, and I've only had that happen to me once. So I think it really does matter when you're, I'm about to run out of thread, when you're smoothing and keeping it pressed with your finger and getting it right the first time. Or I don't know how exactly that didn't curve right, but it's only happened once, and this is my third project I've appliqued this way, and I am thinking about lots more of them. And this is the 16th mini quilt in my upcoming book. And I didn't have needle turn applique demos before, but now we do. And like I said, there's two projects in my book of mini quilts. It features 16 different mini quilts. Two of them use needle turn applique. Actually, technically 3 of them use needle turn applique, but one of them you could choose to do differently. It's the center of a Dresden plate. I did do that with needle turn applique on my sample. So this is all there is to it. Let me go ahead and stop and tie off. And I'm going to tie off the way I would tie off any applique project. I take my thread, I go into my background right where my stitch comes out on my foreground. I'm going only into the background and pull pretty tight. And then I want to send it through anywhere right around in here of my background fabric and not get into my butterfly wing or my applique. Send it through just one time. Make sure I didn't go through. Not knotting or anything, just pulling it taut. And then I'm going to hold where that thread is right there, where it came out. I'm going to hold that. I'm going to go back into the same hole, making sure I'm not going through that applique fabric. And then when I get a circle, I'm going to put my needle through the circle and then pull. I'm going to do that one more time. There's my circle. thread, circle of thread, pull it through just like that. And then I'm going to go back in again and then just come out a ways away. That way, when I cut my thread right here, I'm not cutting close to my knot. I'm cutting a ways away, but I'm still cutting flush with my fabric, so it's not just hanging around back here. All right. So that's how you do the stitches. That's how you tie off. Now let me show you how I tie on or get started. Start with a pretty decent arm's length of thread. I know there's a lot of different ways, and some of you have some very super fancy ways, but I'm a pretty simple gal. I like to make this loop with the thread and put a knot into that double over thread. So I just make a little knot just like this. And I don't like to pull it super tight, just a little tight. And then I'm going to do it one more time, and I'm going to try to get my knot exactly on top of the other one. So just like that, not tight. I'm not pulling it tight. So it looks like that. Okay. Then get my needle. Let me show you how tiny this eye is. Look at that. Rarely does my thread fall out of it. This is all pretty much the same way I do English paper piecing. So I've used those same skills doing this. All right. And then so many ways. Let me go ahead and get my applique turning. And when you're turning this with your fingers or your needle, you're only turning like right in front of you. You're not, you're not doing the whole thing. We're just turning this little bit right here. And then I am going to, I've thought about several different things just coming up from the bottom, but I do not like thread hanging, because it could get caught somewhere. I'm moving around, I'm doing this on the sofa a lot in car rides. So I don't want to just kind of willy-nilly. So what I've been doing is kind of the way I do binding, where I put it in around here, put my needle in around here, and then not going through the back, just going through the applique this time, and trying to get my needle right where I left off. And I'm coming out on the fold, see? And then I pull, and my knot has caught right here, but I'm going to give it a gentle tug and pop my needle in, or sorry, pop the knot in. Find that knot. All right, see the knot has caught now up here. So my needle went in here, I pulled until the knot went under the applique fabric, and then I pulled my knot right there. And now I can cut this excess fabric away, right? And there's nothing hanging out back here. So that's the way I've been doing it. It worked well for me on my other few projects. And it's kind of the way that I do my binding, like I said, and some of my English paper piecing. So I feel like it feels really nice to do it on needle turn applique too, even though it might not be your most traditional needle turn applique. I know that there are quilters out there doing just absolutely excellent work with a very old-fashioned way of doing things. And if that is what you want to do, go for it. But this is feeling really comfortable to me. I'm not even turning anything with my needle, even though it is needle turn applique. I wonder if I had sharper curves right here, if I would have had to. I don't know. So I think that's all I wanted to show you today. I will show you this project when I get it done eventually. And look for my book of many quilts. It will be available at Meander and Make, and I'll put a link to it below. You can already pre-order. It is coming out in October, so really, really soon, or October 2026 if you're watching this video much later. All right, I've got a little bump there. I'm just going to keep smoothing it until it's smooth, and I think that's what I didn't do right there. All right, well, I'm going to keep at this, and I will see you sometime later. Thank you for watching, and take care.